Gildor's 2 question. Is there any pattern for legendary spawns and silverways? In the... Wait, legendary spawns and silverways? The main big bad spawn in silverways is the one from the meta event, the Reba event. Beyond that, I don't know the others by heart.
The entire village looks abandoned. Now, which house would a bookworm live in?
A complete botany of veins. Oh, that's right. We're looking for like one specific book here. Royal Intelligence or Training Report.
This is a Royal Army logbook. Did he take this from the local barracks?
The Folklorist Fabulary. From a distance. This is what we're looking for. Got it.
This is it. But if what it says is true, I need to get this back to the hideaway.
Leave Garnick. We're probably going to get attacked on the way out. For naughty books.
Leaving so soon, stranger? We've been watching you. From a distance, so to speak.
Subtle. I know who you are.
Then we need not waste time on introductions.
I guess I should have read that book.
Hand me the book. Leave it in our care and return to your life.
Your care? Do you mean to burn it or bury it?
That is not my decision to make. But by one means or another, its contents shall be removed from the common record.
Then I'll have to politely refuse. I won't let you erase our history.
Then we find ourselves at an impasse. Very well. The book can just as easily be pried from your dead hand.
And then he turns around.
Let's see, shall we?
Man, I am surrounded by fear and dead men. Enemy slain. Considering how we fight is incredibly abnormal, you'd think after 2 or 3 spells they'd be running. Like, what the hell?
Impressive. But we have other means. We shall claim the book yet.
Why do you want it so badly anyway?
It lays out in no uncertain terms the vanity and avarice of mankind. It tells the shameful history of the persecution and oppression of a gifted few by a giftless many. Would you say that this interpretation was correct?
I don't know.
You don't know. Your sword may be sharp, but your wits are dull. So let me answer for you. There is no correct interpretation of history. that a series of events took place may be proved beyond a doubt. But there can be no single, immutable explanation as to why they came to pass. It is a question of numbers and of belief. If enough people believe that a set of events occurred for a reason, that belief becomes the truth.
We talk
So
about
you're trying to
Archduke
control the
Ferdinand.
truth.
We are trying to protect people from themselves, from knowledge that would bring them naught but pain. That is all. You may keep the book, for now. The world is small. We shall meet again. Until then.
Wait.
He ninja vanished. Oh my gosh. In a wide open area like this, Batman could
Let's
learn
get
from
this
him.
back to Vivian. Perhaps she can explain what that was all about.
Kiwi says there are 4 legendary bosses that are random that spawn in the Silverways. Gotcha. I guess I've never hunted them. Good night says you gotta hang about the camp that the one you're looking to kill spawns at. Best chance is tagging it before it gets deleted.
Vivian. I found it. The book you lost.
I'll read this. No mention is made as to the name of the author. Whether that is because the title page has been lost to time or because the tome was published anonymously is impossible to say.
You found it. Thank you, Clive. Even though I asked this of you, I was not entirely sure it would be possible. I feared the executors had seized every copy.
I met with one of these executors, and I convinced him to let me keep it.
Mm-hmm.
He told me something. That the truth is just a matter of collective belief. And that if enough people believe a lie, that lie becomes the truth.
It does. But it also means that the truth is not immutable. That it can be changed. Provided that those who wish to change it can convince enough people that their perspective is the correct one. As the sad history of the bearers proves.
You said that the book inspired you to become a scholar.
It did. Or its author, rather. She was a heretic, you see. A firebrand and a dissenter. A gallows stood ready for her in every corner of the realm. And by shunning society, or perhaps being shunned by it, she stumbled upon a truth so potent that an entire realm trembled at the prospect of its utterance. I, too, have always felt somehow set apart from the world of men. A stranger to my own species. She taught me that my solitude was not a curse, but a gift. And that, though my journey to the truth might be a lonely one, what I found at my destination would be more than worth the cost.
Do you still feel that way? That you're not one of us?
Honestly, I'm not entirely sure anymore. Since coming to the hideaway, I find my thinking somewhat clouded. Perhaps the result of studying mankind from a rather closer perspective than I had intended. But the more I study, the more I find value in this perspective. In looking not from the outside, but from within. So if you'll permit me, I'd like to continue my work here. Remember, Clive, when enough people believe, belief begets truth. Give the men and women of this benighted world the gift of truth. Make them believe in you, as I do.
I'll try, Vivian. I'll try.
Quest complete. Scholar's Bonnet. One left. Journey to the Bad Bach Conservatory. Where's that? Over here. Well, I should say one left that I have in my log. Okay. Looks like we gotta run.
Let's go. Run like the wind.
God, do I have to go all the way around?
I can walk from here.
Apparently we can
This
walk
must be
from
the
here.
orphanage. Hopefully the registry is still here.
Conditioning schedule. Today's exercises will consist of the press yard, 20 sandbags for such duration as instructor shall dictate, the furnace, burn intensity to be gradually increased, and live combat, 1 to 3 hellhounds depending on performance.
Conditioning. This is nothing short of torture.
Badbot Conservatory Writ of Incorporation. The Kingdom of Waloed hereby incorporates this institution, wherein juvenile bearers are to be granted the opportunity to give themselves in service to the state of soldiers. Trainees succumbing to the crystal's curse or otherwise perishing are to be disposed of with all haste. The graveyard is strictly reserved for the uncursed. Bearer disposal within its bounds is punishable by death.
Disposed of. Herman wasn't exaggerating. It's a wonder he survived this place.
I've recently learned that my own daughter was among the children turned to stone by the brutal training I subjected them to. I had not so much as thought of her since handing her over to the authorities as a babe, but inquiries within the military confirmed it. It was her. I had been torturing my own flesh and blood, and now I see her everywhere. Today, one of the children smiled at me in the hope of receiving a few scraps from my table. It was her smile, the smile she inherited from her mother, the mother I killed for giving birth to a bearer. Their ghosts have all come back to haunt me. My daughters, my wife's, all of them, all those children, so many have died at my hand. I can bear the guilt no longer. And so I've decided tomorrow I too must die. It will be with the last order I give those poor wretches, the last torment I subject them to. I will command them to tear me limb from limb and inter my accursed corpse beneath a white tree whose crooked hands reach to the sky in supplication. And beside me, my shame, my curse, the record of all their names, all those I wronged. Oh God. So the registry's buried next to the corpse by the tree.
This reads like a suicide note. Did the director go through with his plan? There's only one way to find out.
Oh, that's a potion. That's not it.
A forked white tree. This must be the place. Could he really be buried here? There's something hidden among the roots. Let's see. This must be the registry.
Badbot Conservatory Registry of Bearer Losses. Okay, yeah, it just goes on and on. Names
So
and
many
cause of
names.
death.
This place was a slaughterhouse. And where is the architect of all this misery?
Did he become Akashic?
It was only a matter of time, I suppose. This place is cursed.
Alright, he's a big man now. Torgal backflipping again. Is that it?
I'm done here. Let's get the registry back to Herman.
Okay. And he survived that place.
I hear that you traveled to Ash. Sid, did you by any chance recover the names of my fallen friends?
I did. Yes.
If I may? The bearer registry. The director was a brutal man. He got no worse than he deserved.
The registry was all I found beneath the tree. There was no sign of a body. Nor any record of what happened to the children after the orphanage closed.
I pray that at least some of them survived. All their names are here. The ones we lost. My friends. My light in those dark times. I can still remember their faces, like it was yesterday. Children who were taken from their bunks in the morning, never to return. No explanation ever offered.
They'd be happy to know that you survived, Herman.
But why did I make it out alive, when so many others died in that awful place?
It's not your fault. And blaming yourself won't bring them back. Honor their memory. See that their names live on. That way, at least. They're never truly gone.
Thank you. Sid, I'm going to write a book. An account of the horrors of Badbach, and the spirit of those its custodians sought to crush. All of Valisthea will know of our suffering. And in the name of those I lost, I will not let it happen again.
Neither will I.
These records would have been buried for all eternity, were it not for you. Thank you.
Oh, that was a darker quest for sure. Breath of Ice Mesmerize. Reduces cooldown by 1.2 seconds. Oh my god. Dude, some of the trinkets are so... Like, I would say most of the trinkets in this game are just so bad. Alright, what is that? The reading table? The reading table has another quest. I don't know... I don't know if I have it in me to do more. I'll go look. I'll go look. Let's see what it is.
It'll tell us about his adventures in Ash.
I doubt it. I heard he's leaving again. Well, then maybe when he gets back.
Say what you will, Lady Karen has seen herself.
First the skies,
Then the crystal. What next? Could be
Okay, what is this? Concern for... Oh, looks like there's two more here. Making amends. I'm aware there are matters of much greater import which demand your attention, but should you find yourself a moment, I bid you visit me in the shelves, that I might ask a favor concerning His Highness Prince Dion. And Jill, though our icon brought her much suffering, the loss of Shiva weighs heavy on her heart, and we would be poor friends indeed if we not seek to lighten that burden even by only a fraction before we depart for the skies. I would speak on this more in private. Okay, so... Oh, man. And counting the hunts, at minimum 5 more have popped up. Oh, alright. I think I'm good. I'm satisfied. I don't think I have the desire to go another few hours to 100% all of these. I think I'm good. So with that, chat, I think I'm gonna do what I normally do when I wrap up a game. Because at this point, there's those side quests that have popped, as well as like 3 more hunts that have popped. I'm gonna review it. I want to talk about my experience with Final Fantasy XVI. Now, this was the first Final Fantasy game that I can say that I finished. And yeah, I didn't finish like every single side thing, but I did finish all of the main content and most of the side stuff. Before this, I had played Final Fantasy 1 for like 10 minutes and Final Fantasy 14 for like 10 hours, and that's it. That was my experience with this game. So now I know more about Garuda and Ifrit and Phoenix Downs and Dragoons and stuff like that than I knew before. How was the game? The game had some amazing moments. Like, you know, fighting Titan was really epic. I still think that was the best part of the game. I think that was better than the fight with Ultima. I think that was better than the fight with Bahamut. I think the fight with Titan was like the best part of the game. It had some really cool moments. It also had like a lot of really dumb moments. Saving cats in trees and things like that. It was very, very slow paced. I really wished that it's like you'd be talking to someone in a cutscene and they'd be like, Clyde, you're here. Oh my God. It's so good to see you. And then they'd be like, I have a story to tell. And the camera would pan up to the sky and it would fade to black. And then the black would fade to light. And the camera would pan back down. And they'd be like, so, that's how it be, Clive. And it's like, oh my God. Like, I just wanted to crank it up to like 3x speed. It was just so slow. How freaking slow they talked, like, all the time. I would say that like was the biggest thing. Like, I probably could have shaved 20 hours off of the game if people just talked faster. Like, that was one of the things that drove me absolutely bonkers throughout the playthrough. I will say the combat was very fun. It was a very fun combat system. The fact that as you got like new equipment, your character's appearance never changed was a con. Even when we did the quest to get armbands given to us by our dead father, they weren't visible. You didn't even see the armbands. It was just like, pfft. So it's like, for such an expensive game, I'm really shocked that they didn't actually make like visible armor. So that was the thing. Your sword changed. Your sword changed when you changed it, but that's it. Also, the most unbelievable sheaths I've ever seen in gaming on the swords, while I'm thinking about that, because I'm looking at a sheath right now. The whole system with the icons, the abilities, pretty cool system. A lot of, you had the ability to mix and match and customize your character. This is pretty neat. Equipment, one of the most disappointing equipment systems. Like, most of the stuff here was reduced cooldown time by 1.6 seconds, 1.2 seconds. Like, almost nothing here was worth equipping. There was a couple of items, but not much. So it was, this was like almost like a placebo screen, it felt like. It really didn't do much. But in combat, the motions in combat, the dodging, the blocking, the weaving of abilities, it was fun, it was enjoyable. That is largely what kept me in it. I will say, jumping, I forgot that this game had jumping for most of it, because jumping was completely unnecessary for getting through this game. And so like the rare moment where someone's like, Muck, you could have jumped over that shockwave. I was like, I forgot this game had a jump key, man. Like, that happened more than once. The jumping felt like such an unessential element to the game. Going around the world was pretty cool. The way they did like the world map and stuff like that. It very much felt like Guild Wars 1 in the fact that like there was just invisible walls all over the place that prevented you from going out of bounds. So it was kind of open world, but not really. Like, there was guardrails all over the place. And that was fine. That's just an observation. That's just how they chose to do it. Let's see. The storytelling was pretty cool. There was multiple times. There was like little twists and stuff like that. I did enjoy the overall primary story of the game, and I would say I enjoyed like half of the side quests. But the main story was pretty good. It was like a pretty cool finale with Ultima when he pulls out all the moves from Titan and Bahamut and Shiva and all of them, and then you counter all of them. That was really neat. I enjoyed that. It's definitely a very long story, you know, like, you know, we went through multiple generations of people. Like, you know, there was us as kids, and then some people lived, some people died, and then us as adults, and then Sid was gone, and then we were Sid. Like, there's definitely many chapters to this story, and they were pretty good. I really didn't like the ending. The whole, like, the guy that has worked the hardest for trying to, like, save the world doesn't get a chance to, like, relax and enjoy the fruits of his labors. He has to die at the end. Like, that makes me hesitant to try the DLC, because it's just like, what's the point? He's gonna die. Like, right now I've got a quest to go help Dion. What's the point? He's dead. He's going to die at the end of the chapter. Like, it's god. So that really bums me out. It makes me not as eager to continue as I was before. But overall, I enjoyed the story. Originally, we played this because a patron sponsored me to play it for one evening, and I liked it enough that here we are, 50 hours later, and, you know, we're basically finishing it up. So it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Trying to think of if there was anything else I wanted to cover. I enjoyed the main character. The main character, you know, being he's kind of gruff, and he's, like, you know, willing to help people. You know, sometimes the main character for these, like, you know, anime-ish games is just kind of insufferable. This one was pretty good. I was completely okay with him. He didn't bother me, and I think that's saying a lot. Well, did you have a favorite icon? Did I have a favorite icon? Let's see. We had Afreet, Phoenix, Garuda, what was this? Rama, Titan. I liked Titan because of his block. However, like, because sometimes you could, like, do a perfect dodge and then go into a counter. And if you did a perfect block, you could do a different type of counter. However, not everything in the game was blockable. And because of that, if you were like, oh, like, for example, on Ultima, I tried to do a Titan block one time, and he just broke right through it and hit me in the face, and I was like, okay, I'm not going to try this anymore. So it was really fun for the fights it worked on, really, you know, depressing on the fights that it didn't. And then the Titan drill punch was really fun. That was very enjoyable as well. I found Bahamut probably the most boring. Just everything he did was lasers. Lasers, lasers, lasers. Even the Bahamut boss fight was just like, dude with lasers, bigger dude with lasers, bigger dude with lasers. It was just dragon with lasers. That's it. So this one's very much like a one-trick pony. And then there was Odin. There was kind of like Devil May Cry. So yeah, I would say I would lean toward Titan, maybe Garuda for favorite icon. Those are pretty cool. I just don't know why Clive does the ASMR impression all the time. You mean whenever he channels Titan, he's like, ah! Yeah. But yeah, there was, I did like the game. Overall, we had a very long story with many layers, and it was not predictable. Like, there was some moments I predicted, sure. But, like, overall, they're, like, you know, at the beginning of the game, you know, you've Freed fighting Phoenix, and then later on we find out the boy is Phoenix. It caught me completely off guard when I found out that Clive was a Freed. Like, that was a cool revelation, and there was many such moments like that. There was a couple things that happened that were a bit unbelievable. Like when we helped the end of the Dames quest line, and the two people that were, you know, trying to lead the town, the father and the daughter, and they were like, we have learned the error of our ways and we will change our ways. And I'm like, yeah, okay, because that happens. And then there was other similar quests where just the people suddenly earned it was the people in the desert that stoned the guy. And then minutes later, they're like, we're going to make you our mayor. And he's like, yeah, no hard feelings about getting stoned. It's like, really? Really no hard feelings? I'd be like, all right, do I get a few free hits on you for that? So that was kind of surprising as well. But maybe they're just better people than I am. I would be very bitter about that. While I'm thinking about it, items. I would say this is a small thing, but I didn't like how every time you find an item on the ground, it was just a shiny ball of light. They saved a lot of money in the art department on that. Every single item on the ground was just a ball of light. So one, there was really no hidden items because you could see them all a mile away. And two, every single thing looked the same on the ground. Maybe that's just a Final Fantasy thing. I wasn't really that fond of it, but that's how they did it. That's how they did it. A lot of the cutscenes were stellar. You know, the cinematics and stuff like that. But if there wasn't any interaction, sometimes it would get kind of boring. Like, you know, we'd have these, like, example, or the phase 1 of the Ultimate Fight was you, Ifrit, Bahamut, and Phoenix all fighting him, and I had to click the mouse like 4 times. It was like this epic 10-minute battle, but it was just a movie, and I almost forgot I was playing the game, and then it was like, click the mouse. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, GeForce kick you out of the session. Yeah, there was many moments where we were watching so many cutscenes that GeForce is like, you haven't moved in 10 minutes. Are you still there? We're going to kick you out for being AFK because you're using up our bandwidth. And I was like, I swear I'm still here. Like, I've never played a game in my life that has been so much movie. Like, the movie to game ratio was, like, so high in the movie side. Don't know that that's a bad thing, but it's an observation. It's an observation. But yeah, I'm gonna say that that about wraps it up. I don't want to devote another stream to just finishing up these last couple of hunts. But yeah, it was a pretty cool game. It was enjoyable. There were some that, like, dude, the blacksmith guy, I liked the blacksmith guy. He was cool. There were some characters that I would say there was more characters that I liked than there were that I hated. And that's saying something. Like, just the other day, we finished playing Until Dawn. My God, I liked, like, one character in that game, and I disliked almost all the others. This game, I would say most of the characters were likable. Like, dude, Gav, Goots, Karen, like, the blacksmith, like, there's a lot of likable folks. And they all had different personalities and stuff. I would say the writers for the game did a pretty freaking good job. They did a pretty freaking good job. Dude, the uncle, oh my God, dude, I was all smiles. Every time the uncle came in, it was like, my nephews! And he was like hugging the boys, and you know, he was ready to, with his axe anytime it was needed. There was a lot of likable folks. But yeah, that is going to, I'm gonna call it a wrap. That was my playthrough of Final Fantasy. I hope you guys enjoyed it too.